after this play.
First down and 10. Tony Temple heads to the outside. Texas Tech comes up and meets him at about the 45-yard line. Pickup of 2. You finish your thought, Charles?
Yeah, you talked about the uniqueness of it, taking those different elements from the different programs that were out there and melding them all together. Because as you said, that attracts quarterbacks, it attracts receivers, it attracts running backs. It also, by spreading the field, you equalize out talent. You don't necessarily have to have the big mashers to compete in the Big 12.
Second and 6. Daniel, pass, caught inside the 50, down to the 48-yard line. Tommy Saunders, a sophomore of Kearney, Missouri. Here's a guy who had no receptions the first 3 games. Has started to come on, and even Gary Pinkel telling us last night, you know, we should have been thrown to the guy earlier. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Napa. And Missouri needs 1 to get to it. Third down and 1.
This is where having Chase Daniels, your quarterback, helps you because he's fully integrated into the run game himself.
Temple, left side, breaks through into the secondary, gets close to the 40-yard line, to the 42. Tackle. They have so many different weapons. You think they're going to throw, then all of a sudden they come with the ground game.
Yeah, and they're able to run it well. Dave Christensen, their offensive coordinator, told me before the ball game, down on the field before warm-ups, that he thinks that they can run the ball well tonight. And he has evidence. Texas A&M ran it for 250 yards last week, and he thinks that they haven't run it as well as they can early this season.
Jimmy Jackson, he is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Penalty flag is thrown. Tripped up back at the 46-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 4. Kellen Tillman got the hand on him, but we do have a flag.
Must have been pretty obvious. Everyone threw their flag.
I know, there's a lot of yellow laundry laying out there.
Holding on the offense, number 45. 10-yard penalty. Complete.
Right there.
First down.
He got his money's worth, though, didn't he?
Well, you know, if you're Chase Kaufman, you are now a candidate to play special teams with that great tackling technique.
That's right.
You will now cover punts and kickoffs, young man, because you know how to wrap them up.
Well, that's the second penalty against Missouri tonight. Inside of 5 minutes, opening drive for the Tigers. They drove it right down, ended up with a field goal. You can see that they've never trailed in a game this year. That is impressive. Daniel looks for Jackson, instead throws it to the near side. Perry. Oh, he lowers his shoulder inside the 50, down to the 48-yard line.
Chase Daniels pass completed.
Perry's second reception of the night.
Tackled on the play by number 49.
One quick observation. I think that Texas Tech's secondary and linebackers are covering the pass pretty well here early in the game. Because the best plays they've run so far, and look at how he gets double-teamed. Antonio Huffman, 36, with the big shot. He's going to go out and sit down for a while. I just think that Texas Tech is really hugging up on the receivers well.
Now Tech only has 3 on the defensive line. They twist as Daniel has some time, throws over the middle, pass caught, fumble. Texas Tech has it. No, they're saying incomplete. Rucker had it in his hand. It looked like he took a step and then let go of the football. It'll bring up a third down and 16. Let's look at it again.
Watch Rucker coming from inside. He's the third receiver, number 82. Ball's in his hands. Did he possess it? Was he able to tuck it away?
I tell you what, Charles.
That's a close one, isn't it?
I tell you what.
Texas Tech is going to argue forever that he had a chance, that the ball was in his grasp, and it should have been a fumble.
I'm surprised it's not being reviewed here.
You have that one challenge.
Yeah,
Mike Leach not exercising it here.
Well, he looked like he took a step. High snap. Daniel does a great job pulling it down. Has some time. Now he's scrambling, looking. Has to throw it away. The Texas Tech defense stands up to the challenge. Keontae Dawson's the one that was chasing Chase Daniel.
Ron, the Texas Tech secondary is covering very well early in this ball game. Even the completions that have occurred from Missouri have been difficult throws. Either that or they've run the wide receiver screen, and even when they've completed it, Tech has closed quite well to the football.
Adam Frostick drew a roughing call against Colorado last week. The junior from Liberty, Missouri, set to kick it away. Danny Amendola. Danny back at his 10. Good snap. Wobbly kick. Amendola from the 12. Steps up. Doesn't get away from that second wave. Gets up to about the 18-yard line. 37 yards on the kick, about 6 on the return. Texas Tech has it, trailing by a field goal. Missouri leading 3-0, just over 3.5 to play here in the opening quarter. Log on to Rivals.com and ask Charles Davis a question. Find Ask Charles only on Rivals.com, your online home for college football.
All I ask is that you ask a question that I can answer.
Keep it simple.
Thank you.
Kiss theory.
Kiss theory.
Yeah. Graham Harrell, the sophomore from Ennis, Texas, just about 45 miles south of Dallas on I-45. He's joined by Shannon Woods in the backfield. Here comes the blitz by Missouri. Harrell steps up. Ball is hit as he tries to throw. Let's see who's got it.
There's no signal that his arm came forward.
No, not a bit. And Missouri has got it at the 12. He was trying to throw it, but his arm never went forward, I don't think.
According to the officials, Texas Tech is going to argue otherwise. Watch him in the pocket. The blitz, as you called, got to him. There's the pressure. Looks like Marcus Bacon 15. I think it's a good call.
I think it is too.
Because I think the ball is coming free, and he never allows his arm forward.
Well, they're going to review this, but they didn't review the other fumble.
I think what has to come down in the official's mind is, did the arm have any forward motion at all? I thought Marcus Bacon actually stopped it.
I think he did
from
too.
Coming forward and kicked the ball free. See, he's trying to throw, but you notice how Marcus Bacon never allows the arm through.
That's right. That's a good angle here. Good job by our crew.
See, right there. Yeah. See, he's got firm grasp of the arm. See, he never is able to complete the throwing motion.
But he started.
Constituted? See, I think, here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to call this an incomplete pass.
I think you may be right.
I think they're going to call it an incomplete pass because I think the arm starts forward, Bacon stops it from completion, and the ball comes free. I think Texas Tech is going to have the ball back again.
It looks like he was grabbing his, like a bicep almost as he was trying to get rid of it.
He did. He got full grip in there, and it was a good job as the replay officials, John Davidson and Jim Evans, have something to mull over.
Well, if they keep it, it'll be a sack and a fumble.
And if you're the two benches, Ron, if you're Texas Tech's offense, you're still talking about offense. If you're Gary Pinkel in Missouri, you're telling your defense to be ready to go out and play. You don't want it to come as a surprise if the call's reversed.
Well, they got the word from upstairs.
After review of the play, the call on the field is confirmed. It is a fumble recovered by Missouri. First down.
I'm a little bit surprised because I thought that his arm started to come forward.
Yeah.
But what the officials fell back on, see, he's cocked and he's ready to go. See, he's trying to bring it through. But what they're saying is that Marcus Bacon's control of his arm trumps the idea that he's trying to throw the ball. That's why they gave the ball to Missouri. Now let's see. Missouri's not known to attack in these situations, Ron. I go right at him right here with Chase Daniel.
Now their MO is just play their playbook. This time they pitch it to Temple. He sees a little bit of gap, gets inside the 10, down about the 6-yard line. Fletcher Session, the senior out of Tyler, Texas, holding on, gets down to about the 6-0 market. That's his third tackle of the night. Get a little chippy down there.
Well, things start to ratchet up a little, aren't they? Yes. In my discussion with Dave Christensen on the field before the game, one thing he told me was Texas Tech gives up big drives, and we're used to having long drives. So for him, he doesn't have the same qualms about controlling the ball 10, 11 plays as many others might.
Now Texas Tech is going to burn a timeout with 2:31 left to play in the first. Let's check in with Mark Fine as the Sooners and the Longhorns hooking it up at the fair in Dallas. Mark.
Yeah, we got a couple of games we want to update you on. First of all, Texas 7 against 13 Oklahoma. Colt McCoy to Jordan Shipley. Nice timing pattern, 28-10, the final there. How about 5 Florida and 10 LSU? The Gators at home, and they're all over this one. Tim Tebow in, and a little jump pass to Tate Casey, 23-10. Gators get the win. Guys, back to you.
All right, we can see the Red River Showdown. Colt McCoy versus Paul Thompson, who's actually done a great job this year. You got to give some kudos to him. McCoy, pretty simple game, 10 of 15, inside of 100 yards with 2 touchdowns, but the big number, Texas wins it.
Yeah, and I would imagine that since he only threw for 99 yards, they ran it very effectively.
Yeah.
And why not with maybe the best offensive line in the country at the University of Texas.
Speaker's getting a little, Adam Speaker, the big center, getting a little work done on the elbow. He's a Remington candidate.
You know, other people get that, they will get that work done on their elbow. They'll miss a play or two.
No.
A lineman, they could probably insert a pin on the sidelines and they'll be back before the next play.
How about 22 plays in the first quarter for the Missouri Tigers? That's something Mike Leach probably doesn't like, but that's what they like. They led the NCAA in plays last year, lead again this year.
Yeah.
Daniel throws it up into the end zone for Kaufman, incomplete. Looked like Chase Kaufman hesitated a little bit there.
Well, I think he ran out of room, to be honest with you, in the corner of the end zone. Watch, it's just going to be a fade to Chase Kaufman against Antonio Huffman. But see, normally he would want to continue on up the field, but you don't have that kind of space in the end zone. He had to position himself in order to try and time his jump.
3rd down and 4 from the 6, so they can get a first down. High snap again. Daniel with a little look in to Franklin. Looks for the goal line, gets down to the 1-yard line. No touchdown, but they got a first down. Another impressive drive by the Tigers after the fumble by Graham Harrell.
Is that the 3rd or the 4th time we've seen that inside screen to a wide receiver now? And if Fletcher Session, number 42, makes the tackle when the ball's caught, that play's dead right there. He missed the tackle. That allowed the receiver the inside route towards the goal line.
Well, it's 1st and goal from the 1. Final 2 minutes and 5 seconds of the first. Temple. And he's going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri. Tony Temple's first rushing touchdown of the season. First touchdown of any mode of the season.
Missed tackle on the previous play. Missed tackle here. Chris Hudler, number 93, missed the tackle that allowed Tony Temple to get into the goal, get into the end zone.
And the extra point. With 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter, it has been all Missouri. And the extra point is good. Wolford 22 of 22 on here. Take a look at it again.
Watch number 93 in black. Shows himself quickly. Right there, Chris Hudler. Unable to get his mitts on Tony Temple. Thus the waltz.
I have never seen, after the first quarter, we still have a couple of minutes left, somebody with a +6 and change as far as the lead in time of possession.
Yeah, they've just taken this thing and just dominated it all the way through. And you mentioned that, you know, last year they led the number of plays run, Ron. They're only 4 plays off of last year's pace, despite the new timing rules. Look at that, 111 yards, 9:41 in time of possession.
Well, a lot of it's set up by their defense, Charles.
Yes, and Matt Eberflus, their defensive coordinator, told us in our conference call that their main goals, number 1, you know, all he cares about is scoring defense, right? You know, that's the big number. But what they want to do is score or set up a score with their defense. And that's exactly what they did, handed the points to their offense.
And let's see if Texas Tech can answer it. Eric Morris, he's got some running room. Looking for one more block, gets it, bounces off a tackle, gets up to the 34-yard line. Well, the 1981 University of Missouri team also started out 5-0. Coach Warren Power's squad finished the season ranked 19th in the country. They ended up 8-4, including wins over the Oklahoma Sooners and over Southern Miss in the Tangerine Bowl. Of course, they're trying to equal that mark and also go to 6-0, which is something they haven't done in an awful long time. First time since 1973 that would happen. That team also finished 8-4. So we see there both teams started out well, didn't finish all that high. Johnson gets close to the first down, gets over the first down. That's vintage Texas Tech offense there.
And you always think about blocking by the interior guys. How about the receivers? Watch number 8, Joel Filani in black on the outside. Here it comes right there. There's the block. They gave Johnson a path to get into the secondary. It's not just catching the ball. You have to block, too, to play at Texas Tech.
Minute and 20 to go in the quarter. Graham Harrell pumps. Getting pressure on, hits the official. Intended, I think, for Shannon Woods.
Wes White looked like a really open receiver, but his uniform doesn't equal either of the two.
Either does the shape of him.
No, nor did Wes really turn around and present himself as a good target for the ball.
No.
Hitting him in the back, you know, you've got to be a really good catcher. If you can catch it with your back turned to the quarterback.
Now Woods and Batch now in the backfield, 2nd down and 10. Fans are giving a little booing, but
not happy with Wes, are they?
No. He was where he was supposed to be. They tried a running game. Shannon Woods gets absolutely nothing as Lorenzo Williams meets him right at about the line of scrimmage.
One thing for all of us to keep in mind, Missouri comes into this game ranked 2nd in the country in total defense. Now we've wondered a little bit about that number because the teams that they've beaten so far are combined 6 and 19, but thus far Missouri looks like the legit item.
So far 38 total yards for Texas Tech in the opening quarter. 3rd down and 9. Harold, the deep out, has a man there. Incomplete. Great timing on the defense. Intended for Joel Filani, but David Overstreet, the senior out of Dallas, Texas, as a former quarterback, you appreciate that timing.
I wonder if the ball was tipped a little or if the timing was thrown off by the rush into Graham Harrell's face, because the ball seemed to wobble a little. But in any event, give David Overstreet a lot of credit because he went into overdrive and planted his number 8 right into the number 8 of Joel Filani. Excellent timing. Ball hit his hands, and then he hit Filani. Ball goes flying, forcing another punt.
Alex Reyes back at his 31-yard line. First punt went 52 yards. His quick kicking with about a 16-mile-an-hour breeze is another good one. Saunders takes it at the 10, steps away from the first wave. Up over the 25 to the 28 to the 29-yard line. 44 yards on the kick, 19 yards on the return. Here's Mark Fine in our studios in Atlanta with a little Ohio State update. Now the Missouri Tigers already on the afternoon, 25 plays. We still have 15 seconds left in the quarter. They'll keep it on the ground. This time Texas Tech's there to upend Jimmy Jackson, the sophomore.
Was he actually down, or was he on top of someone and able to get up and continue downfield?
And that's going to be the end of quarter number 1, and it's a good one for the Missouri Tigers. They double up the number of plays at Texas Tech. More importantly, they lead them by 10. The TBS Saturday Night College Football presented by Orbitz. Second quarter set to get underway. Missouri leading Texas Tech 10-0 along with Craig Sager and Charles Davis. I'm Ron Thulin along with Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly very famous. Only one quarter this year has Texas Tech trailed. That was in the UTEP game, and they went on to score 38 points in that contest. But Missouri in control now. 2nd down and 7. Daniel, he is dangerous. Takes a slide as he gets up to the 34-yard line. Here's Craig Sager on the sideline. Thanks.
Hey, Ron. Gary Pinkel had 4 demands of his players today. Be enthusiastic, play from start to finish, know your assignments, and play tough and physical. Not a single one involved ability or skill. It was all effort and focus. And by the way, they've outscored their opponents in the first quarter this year, 72-3.
Good points, thanks.
Well, it sounds like they are listening to their head coach and controlling what they can control.
3rd down and 6. Texas Tech only rushes 3. Daniel's got plenty of time. He's got the first down up to the 45-yard line. Chase Kaufman. His father, Paul, was an outstanding NFL player in his own right. Kaufman on the reception. It's his first catch of the night.
Yeah, on that play, Ron, plenty of time to throw the ball for Chase Daniel. What Texas Tech's defense needs is to force turnovers.
That's right.
They thought they had one earlier in this game. Officials didn't see it their way. But they've only forced, what, 6 turnovers thus far? Last year they were 2nd in the Big 12 in forced turnovers.
28 last year, 19 the year before that. Jimmy Jackson cuts back against the grain, gets about 2, maybe 3 on the play before Brock Stratton, the junior out of Roosevelt High School in San Antonio, Texas, stops him up. Now that's an interesting story there, that young man. Went on a Mormon mission, came back last year, Only played a couple of games before he got hurt. Didn't play the final 9 contests. Rehabilitated that knee. You can see the big brace on it, but he is an outstanding young man along with being a great football player.
Remember when he was the leader of the 3S Mafia here?
That's right.
Mike Smith, John Saldi, and Brock Stratton at linebacker.
Jackson has stood up. Maybe picks up 2 on the play. Both offensive lines, they have huge splits. This is not normal for a lot of football teams around the country, Charles.
Look what you get between the guard and the tackle. You know, you get all that, and it's for various reasons. Gap control, get your defensive end spread. Look at how far they have to go to the quarterback, and then your natural running lanes to run through for your running backs. That's what wide splits give you on the offensive side of the football.
3rd down and 8. The Tigers 5 of 7 so far tonight. Goldsmith in the backfield, but Daniel goes back. Running away from the pressure. Has a man caught. Oh, what a hit put on Goldsmith by Kellen Tillman. Spun him around like a top.
Earl Goldsmith is their 3rd down back. We saw him catch one for a 1st down earlier in the game. This time, he kind of wishes his quarterback didn't find him open in the secondary.
Oh.
As Kellen Tillman introduced himself in a very rude manner and forced a punt by Missouri.
Let's see if that spurs his Tech offense. Amendola standing back on his own 10-yard line. First punt was 37 yards for Missouri. This is a boomer with the win. Amendola's just going to let it go over his head. 47 yards on the kick. 11:57 left to play in quarter number 2. The Tigers up by 10. Missouri Tigers, number 25 in the country, leading the number 24 team, Texas Tech, 10-0. Tech's got the football on the 20. 1st and 10, 11:57. They only ran 13 plays in that opening quarter to 26 for the Missouri Tigers. Graham Harrell hasn't had an opportunity to do a whole lot so far tonight. Here comes the blitz again on Harrell. Tries to throw underneath. Picked off, intercepted. Touchdown, the Missouri Tigers. Xavier Jackson with the catch and the interception and the 7. And they're doing it with the blitz, Charles. That's the 2nd time a turnover on a blitz.
I have a feeling this was a zone blitz because Xavier Jackson, the defensive end, normally rushes the passer. That's Brock Christopher, 34. But you see on that play, Xavier Jackson backed up into the secondary, dropped as a linebacker would. Look at him carry the mail into the end zone. Probably hasn't done that since high school. And now they'll be telling the running backs coach, if you need someone, coach, I'm available.
And they are shocked here in Lubbock. 17 yards on the touchdown on the interception. The extra point is good. And the Missouri Tigers lead at 17-0. TBS, it may be the most car for the money ever. And by Levi's, the original. Find your style at levisstore.com. State of shock here in West Texas on the Plains as Missouri has come in here with a 17-0 lead, and we still have 11:48 to play in quarter number 2. Texas Tech, a high-rolling team, but they're not doing a whole lot tonight. They'll get a 1st and 10 from the 20. Let's go back to that interception by Xavier Jackson. The pressure was put on by Brock Christopher on this play.
Ron, I thought initially, all right, so you're going to want to look here at Brock Christopher, all right, and then you want to look here at Xavier Jackson. First, I thought it was zone blitz. Christopher will come free and put the pressure on. Jackson was stunting, but what a football-savvy play because he realized he wasn't getting to the quarterback, so he just read the eyes of Graham Harrell and got into the throwing lane. And it benefited his team by 7 points.
Well, Danny Amendola was the intended receiver. He's only about 5'10 and a half. They couldn't even see him behind the big guys. Almost another interception, another touchdown. William Moore for the Tigers. Graham Harrell had thrown only 2 interceptions coming into tonight. He's thrown 2 for touchdowns tonight.
And I really thought with the return of Jared Hicks, he would get out of locking himself into throwing to a certain target right away. The last 2 plays, it seemed to me, that he's locked in and I'm going to that player no matter what. And both times he's been picked off for touchdowns.
Moore, the sophomore, with his first interception of the year. He had a 62-yard interception for a touchdown last year. And the extra point is good. And I think we got a penalty flag offsides against Texas Tech, so the extra point will count. 11:20 to play in the first half, and the Texas Tech fans are shocked. But and the interception again, and the touchdown by Moore.
Take a look, because here, look at these guys. They're showing what they call an across look, trying not to tip their hand on the coverage. So now Graham Harrell has to decide what coverage are we in. And in this situation, it was the underneath guy, William Moore, playing in a linebacker spot as a defensive back who never really retreated, able to read the eyes of Graham Harrell. He did look left first, but once he came back right, he locked right in, Ron. I mean, he locked right in on his receiver, and all William Moore did was read his eyes, stay with him, and carry the ball into the end zone.
Now, you don't want to just throw Graham Harrell under the bus, but Chris Todd, the redshirt freshman from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, another coach's kid, he was warming up on the sideline. We may see him already because Graham Harrell, obviously, they've gotten into his head a little bit, which is just kind of surprising to a lot of us.
Very surprising considering how poised he's been in the first 5 games of this young season. Mike Leach may be pulling him, try and get him to settle down a little bit.
Just take him out of series, in other words?
Either that or Mike Leach is very upset by the reads he's made on the last 2 plays, because you know how much he likes to coach up his quarterbacks.
And it'll get it first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The kickoff again. Here's Craig Sager.
After that first interception, Mike Leach went up to Graham Harrell and said, listen, get it back together. Keep your head up. Don't panic. There's plenty of time left. After that second interception, he went over to Chris Todd and said, warm up.
Well, I tell you, Mike Leach did not have a whole lot of patience after that TCU game where they only kicked the field goal. He called a lot of his players out, especially his wide receivers, called them a bunch of prima donnas and pretty boys, and his patience is a little thin this year with some of these guys.
We may see a little more huddling now from Texas Tech.
Good point.
To get Chris Todd get him settled into this game.
And now Missouri just for the 4-man rush. Todd, he's a very talented young man. To Danny Amendola, gets the first down up to the 31-yard line. Todd is 6'2", 212 pounds. He was 10 of 12 for 151 yards and a touchdown earlier against Southeast Louisiana.
Going to come underneath from left to right on your screen. Danny Amendola will smash route inside. Nice throw, easy throw for Chris Todd to get his feet wet.
This is a young man that threw for over 10,000 yards in high school. So you know the kid can play. On the ground, Shannon Woods, look out. Gets up over the 50 down to the 46-yard line. Cornelius Brown stops him from behind. The sophomore from McKinney, Texas, 22 yards on the rush.
One of the things that you get with a spread offense is you take a lot of guys out of the box. We talked about the natural run lanes. We just saw them created. And Shannon Woods took full advantage before he's run down on the backside.
First and 10. As Mike Leach said, there's plenty of time left for this squad.
The way they throw it around, oh yes.
Woods this time tries to bounce to the outside. Missouri's there to meet him. Gets down about the 46-yard line, pick up a 1. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Napa.
2 quick thoughts come to mind. One, the quarterback battle was intense in the fall between Graham Harrell and Chris Todd. So what Mike Leach did when he picked Graham Harrell is he still let Chris Todd get almost the same number of reps in practice, which is unusual for Mike Leach. Normally, once he names a starter, that guy takes almost all the reps. So Chris Todd is still getting plenty of practice time that he's trying to translate into good game action.
Throws it out in the flat to L.A. Reed. He puts his head down, gets down about the 43-yard line. Pick up of 3 on the play. We'll set up a third down at about 6.
And the second thought I have is that Missouri's defense should not go into a little state of panic here, a mini state of panic, just because they change quarterbacks. It's still the same system. It's going to be the same routes, the same throws. They can't let this crowd's emotion because they change quarterbacks change the way they play on defense. They've been awfully successful thus far today.
Ball's on to 43, inside of 9 minutes to play in the half. 3rd down and 6 for the Red Raiders. Here comes the blitz again. Todd throws. Caught inside the 30 to Joel Filani. Joel Filani's 2nd reception of the night. Wasn't the prettiest throw, but it worked, Charles.
Yeah, bottom line was the completion. This is where the Afros come into play. It's time for them to go. The Afros meeting America's finest receivers on Saturdays. The name they coined themselves, Joel Filani, helped out his quarterback with that catch.
Pick up with about 14 on the play. 1st and 10 from the 29. Pass is incomplete, intended for Robert Johnson. 8:24 to play. Take a look at the numbers, the first 5 drives in this drive. He's already plus 13 on that.
See, now if you're Missouri, you're looking for a nice play, a good big play from your defense to try and settle this crowd down again. They're excited because it's a new quarterback. Everyone loves the guy who hasn't played when things aren't going well.
Like Dyke used to say, I want to come back as a weatherman and a backup quarterback because people think you're better than you really are. Former Texas Tech coach. Woods is the safety valve. Gets inside the 25, down about the 24-yard line. Let's check in with Craig.
Well, Ron, this is very unusual for Mike Leach to switch quarterbacks in the middle of the game. The first time he has done this since 2002, Game 2 against SMU when the score was 6-3. He brought Cliff Kingsbury out for a series and put in B.J. Simmons. Right now, obviously the change, but Graham Harrell not sulking on the sidelines, standing next to Leach, trying to help out with the signals.
Well, once again, he's a coach's kid. He probably understands this.
He also knows that if he does sulk, he won't get another opportunity.
Exactly.
He's a smart young man. Got to stay in the game.
Big 3rd down. 3rd down and 5 to Woods. He's short of the 1st down as he gets to the 21-yard line. Hardy Ricks, the redshirt freshman out of Brentwood High School in St. Louis on the stop.
Remember earlier in the game, the crowd was chanting to go for it, and Mike Leach punted. Here is where he'll go for it. Yeah. He's in an attack portion of the field. It's 4th and short. They're already down 24. He doesn't want to waste the momentum of this drive. To him, with kicking a field goal, he wants 6.
Well, he ran over to the sideline. Eric Morse in the slot, top of the screen.
That's Morse. They like to use him on running plays in motion.
6 to snap it. Woods looking for a block, tries to get to the outside. He'll be short of the 1st down. Nope. Where they're spotting it, no, it will be short. It will be short by half a yard. Brandon Massey, great stop from that strong safety spot. The senior out of St. Louis's Hazelwood East High School. And Missouri will take over. Great defense by the Tigers.
Number 1, the speed of Missouri's defense. Look at Brock Christopher, number 34, a high school fullback. The initial hit there by Brandon Massey, number 19. A senior transfer from Michigan State, ran down that play. But what surprised me a little, Ron, is that it seemed to me that Mike Leach changed his personality a little bit. Going to a toss sweep and a normally a spread team, that's a little bit of a surprise to me.
Now Texas Tech shows a blitz, and they'll drop Chase Daniel back at the 16-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 4 on the play. Chris Hudler coming up, along with Kellen Tillman to make the stop. Now they have to have something happen defensively, Charles, because if you go in the locker room 24-0, Mike Leach's history says they don't come back in the 2nd half.
Yeah, what are they, 3-22?
When they trail at halftime.
But you know, you go back to Missouri's defense, a carryover from last week. They held Colorado 0 of 5 on 4th down situations. How about here, 0 of 1 tonight against Texas Tech.
Well, that Missouri defense is outstanding on what they call the money downs, 26% on 3rd and 4th down this year. Timeout is going to be called by the Missouri Tigers. 5:58 to play. They've returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns. They lead 24-0. copyrighted presentation of Texas Tech University, a member of the Big 12 Conference. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Texas Tech University or the Big 12 Conference. Second down and 13. Ball's on the 17 for the Missouri Tigers. Daniel alone in the backfield. Looks left, throws right, pass incomplete. Intended for Chase Coughlin, the tight end. Fletcher's session on the coverage.
Coverage was very good. I think at some point, maybe not here, Missouri's got to think about pushing deep. Because I think they're sitting on routes right now. The coverage has been pretty good overall, because most of the scorings come from Missouri's defense.
Now they're 5 of 8 on third down. They need 13. Daniel tucks it, keeps it, runs it. Gets up to about the 29-yard line, be about a yard short of the first down. Darcel McBath coming up from that free safety spot to make the stop. Make that about a half a yard short of the first down.
You know, you talked about it earlier that he needs to learn how to slide. This was a designed quarterback run play the whole way. And he's really not into that sliding thing. Strong, compact young man. He's had a few collisions already today with Darcel McBath. And here's another one. And you know what this run gave Missouri? Better field position.
That's right.
Helped their punter. And now they should be able to change field position a little bit and aid their defense.
Daniel, the leading rusher with 9 carries and 27 yards for the Tigers. They're going to kick it away on fourth down. Kicking with the wind. Amendola starts to backpedal. At the 12. Right up the gut. Gets good field position, breaks through to the outside, and tripped up as he gets to the 40-yard line. 59 yards on the kick. But Danny Amendola brought him back 23, so Texas Tech has good field position with 4:53 left in the half. Understand Graham Harrell's back in, so this was a planned thing, huh?
Well, same thing as we mentioned in 2002. He took Cliff Kingsbury out for just one series, put B.J. Simmons in, put Kingsbury out. We mentioned when Harrell came out, he stood next to Coach. Coach just told him, 2 terrible reads. You have to get your head back into the game. When you're ready to go back in, let me know.
Cliff Kingsbury seemed to come out okay.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if they don't throw it right here. Let them get right back into it.
They throw it out to the flat. Pass is complete to Johnson. Tiptoes down the sideline. Penalty flag is thrown. Might be a hold on Texas Tech. I'm not sure.
That's the vicinity.
Yeah.
The red flag was thrown. You get that a lot on quick screen type plays to the wide receivers.
Well, when you're down 24-0, you just can't have that kind of mental breakdown.
You cannot, because that was positive yardage. Getting Graham Harrell back into the game.
Against the offense, number 8.
Well, Joe Filani is the culprit.
Okay, bottom of the screen. There's the catch by Johnson. Right there. Oh, yeah. See that? That's called grabbing cloth.
It looked like Steve Smith last week for USC, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he didn't get away with it as Steve Smith did. I'm still trying to figure out how Steve Smith got away with that one.
First and 15 now from the 36-yard line. 4:32 to play in the half. They should just join us. Missouri's defense has been stout. They've returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns. Texas Tech has been steady. They got to snap it, barely get it off. Harrell, the safety valve to Amendola. The little guy puts his head down, gets up to the 41-yard line, just about the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 for Texas Tech.
About a little bit of credit for Missouri's defense, too. They're closing and tackling well early in the game, just as I've been mentioning with Texas Tech's defensive secondary.
This isn't a defense that gives up long drives. Only 6 drives by opponents have gone more than 40 yards this year. That's pretty good.
Well, they have created 10 turnovers thus far this year, but prior to this game.
Prior to this game, yeah.
Add a couple more now, right?
Before to snap it, they do. They toss it. Woods. They'll mark it at about the 49-yard line. Diedrich Harrington, his 5th stop already. Already a lot of big plays in this ballgame, Charles.
And many of them forced by the Missouri defense. Marcus Bacon forces a fumble. That turned into points. Brock Christopher on the rush. Xavier Jackson, the interception return for a touchdown. And William Moore, the very next series, snatches the ball away from the receiver and jogs in. Look at that. 3 forced turnovers tonight, 21 points. They've almost equaled what they did previously coming into the game.
Well, Harrell's receiver slips and falls. Jared Hicks tried to get out from under the coverage. You just saw him feet go underneath, and that'll bring up a 4th down. And about 3. Let's see what Mike Leach does. Watch him trip. Yep, right there. I think it was the 47-yard line that reached up and grabbed him.
And that's Paul Simpson, number 6. He's going to want a big plus on his grade sheet when they watch film. The plus goes to the field on that one.
Well, it's 4th down and 3. They're 0 for 1 tonight. Harrell looks for the quick toss. Got it. Got the first down to Joe Pilati. They'll just lean forward down about the 46-yard line.
This is bread and butter play for Texas Tech. Just a little quick hitch. Get the ball, get rid of it. Big-bodied receiver in front of number 3, Darnell Terrell. Another big corner from Missouri. Works for a first down. Obviously, a very important drive for the Red Raiders. They need some points on the board before the half.
And they'll get the ball to start the second half. Woods running straight ahead. Got a first down. Ducks his head as he crosses the 30-yard line. Shannon Woods. Pickup of 16 on the play. He's got 49 on the night.
The wide splits create the natural holes. Gabe Hall just takes his guy wide. He finds the seam, does Shannon Woods, before he's knocked down again by Darnell Terrell. But look at the gap right there. Marcus Bacon can't get over and close that gap quick enough to stop Shannon Woods.
And they're on the 30, 1st and 10. 3 minutes to play in the half. Harrell's got plenty of time now. Going deep, look, has a man wide open. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Jared Hicks. Check out L.A. Reid on the touchdown. That's his 2nd of the year. That was much needed, not only for Texas Tech, but for the sanity, I think, of Graham Harrell. And the extra point is good, so Reid hooks up with Harrell. Texas Tech finally on the board.
They got trips up here, and what happens here is that he gets great pass protection, which allows the receivers to get downfield, and then the coverage falls off. When you have plenty of time to throw the football, what happens is someone will shake free. No pressure at all on Harrell, and he makes the throw that he's capable of. Right to the top, L.A. Reid. Zone coverage, Paul Simpson passes him off, but you've got 3 receivers working on a safety. Brandon Massey, he's unable to cover all 3 that deep.
Well, Todd Walker drew a lot of attention as he was coming across. I think Reid just was saying, you know how you try to catch those and you're so wide open? You go, please don't drop it.
Don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. But L.A. Reid is a guy that was mentioned to us by Mike Leach in our meeting with him on Friday as being a supreme effort guy.
Had an up and down year last year, but he came with a new attitude in spring, really stepped up to the plate. He's done a lot of good things in practice, but you got to do that on the football field, and so far tonight he's done that. 24-7, 2:51 to play in the half.
Now the onus falls on the Texas Tech defense. They can't let Missouri come right back at them right before the half.
Deep two-goods kick will go through the end zone. Goldsmith won't pick it up. Let's check in with Mark Fine in Atlanta. Mark.
All right.
1st and 10 from the 20 for the Missouri offense. 144 yards. Actually, Texas Tech's got 167. Daniel going deep. Pass. Intercepted at the 40-yard line by Chris Parker. That got everybody up.
I understand the call. I was calling for it earlier that you have to push the secondary a little bit, but the ball was underthrown, and Chris Parker made a nice play on the football. Good coverage, locked in, back on the football, gets it at its highest point, and turns the ball right back over to their hot offense. Hey, he didn't quite get enough on that one. He knew it.
He was going with the wind. That's his 5th interception in the last 4 games, and now Missouri's going to call a timeout. 2:12 to play. And you can feel the momentum changing right now. But Gary Pinkel talked about the Zen zone with us. He's tried to teach his players a very simple concept. Play for the moment, play for that play, but when it's over, you've got to forget about it.
Yeah, one play at a time, no repercussions and no recognition. Go on to the next play. Did you say the Zen zone?
The Zen zone.
Has Gary Pinkel been worshiping at the shrine of Phil Jackson? I mean, when you start talking about Zen, I thought there was only one Zen coach out there. You know, of course, we met Dan Hawkins earlier this year. You know, he's got a little Zen going also. But there's Phil Jackson just recovering from hip surgery. But what Missouri wants now, more than anything, is the defense to regroup, dust the timeout, and come out here and reassert some control. Control that they had much of the first half.
Let's take a look at our KFC Bowl Poll question. Will Missouri win the Big 12 North? Text your vote, A for yes, B for no, to 88222, and do it now. Texas Tech has 2:12 to work with. That's an eternity for this offense. They're on their own 41-yard line.
And the run game has gotten better for Texas Tech here in the second quarter.
They rush 4. Harrell's got time, dumps it off to Wood. He gets knocked out of bounds. Penalty flag is thrown. That's going to go against Missouri.
To get a little extra yardage here.
Should be there down there on the sideline. You got to tell him you're on the wrong sideline, guys.
Might call a late hit, a hit out of bounds, which will gain extra yards for Texas Tech.
Not sure if it was on Marcus Bacon or not.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
There's the tackle by Terrell. Clearly into the white. Bacon launching a little bit too late. He's not a malicious play, just didn't have the right field awareness. You know?
Yeah.
And that costs your defense. You don't need to help Texas Tech. They break off chunks of yardage quite well on their own.
That's right. Well, that pushes the ball all the way down to the 37-yard line with 2:05 to play in the half.
Go on, Shannon.
Shannon Woods. Inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line with 1:59. Darnell Terrell and David Overstreet combine to make the stop. And another first down to the 22-yard line.
Has the Southwest Conference re-emerged here? Toss sweep by Texas Tech.
Pick up a 15 on the play by Shannon Woods. Woods 64 yards rushing on 7 carries so far tonight.
And look how tight the splits have gotten. The offensive line now bunched in close.
Good catch, partner. Harrell sees the blitz, reads the blitz, pass. They're saying it is incomplete at the 10-yard line. Filani, the intended receiver. And he actually had a man streaking to the end zone wide open, and he didn't see him.
See, I think that was the counter right there. Because when they brought the splits in tight before, it's been the toss sweep to Shannon Woods.
Yeah.
They've run the ball. Now they show the tight splits. I mean, the close ones, and then they throw it. Now they're back to their normal splits out wide, trying to spread out Missouri's defense.
Mike Leach likes to pull a little trickery here. Here comes the blitz. Harrell reads it, throws it out of the flat. Pass is caught by Filani, still on his feet. Ushered out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Overstreet and Terrell again, but that got the crowd pumped up, and it should be another first down.
As well, it should pump up the crowd. Watch the catch, but even more so, watch the effort. There's the first hit by Darnell Terrell. That's 3 yards. That's 4 yards. A second guy comes over. 4 to 5 additional yards after the initial contact. And Darnell Terrell is 6'3", 205. He's a big guy, too, that Filani helped run through before Overstreet finished things off.
Now there was a little penalty also, so that moves it down to the 5-yard line to make that the 6-yard line. Roughing the quarterback, so that's first and goal from the 6.
Favorite targets are Johnson and Filani. They're to the near side into the boundary right here.
Well, alley-oop for the corner, has a man. Touchdown, Joel Filani! Partner, we got ourselves a football game.
Yes, we do. The Pirate Nation. Mike Leach's Pirate Nation in full evidence here in Lubbock.
Now Graham Harrell, they went to the bullpen for a series. That caught his attention, comes in, leads them to 14 points, and it's just a 10-point Missouri lead. They jumped out 24-0.
Look at the throw and the catch, the timing, impeccable. It was so good there. Filani beat Darnell Terrell so well, they actually wrapped around the cornerback to make the catch. See that? Normally you're catching it over your shoulder, trying to get your body between the ball and the defender. He wrapped around him and came back and took it as the ball was descending.
How about the fact that this Missouri defense only gives up 214 yards? Texas Tech's got 206 already.
Well, now we've hit the stage of the game. It's called adversity for Missouri. Gary Pinkel's talked about that with his team all through camp and all through the first 5 games. What was the graphic we showed? They've never been behind in a game.
That's right.
They're not behind yet. The momentum has changed. How are you going to play when the momentum goes against you? Look at the quick strikes of Texas Tech. That's normal for them.
Yeah.
Minute 15 seems long at times.
I'll tell you what, they can put points on the board in a hurry. Now what you've done is you've given them an awful lot of momentum, too, in front of their homecoming crowd that just about 45 minutes ago was booing them.
Exactly. You know what else? After this kickoff, if Missouri just sits on the ball, to me, that's another momentum swing in favor of Texas Tech.
5 yards deep. Goldsmith takes the knee. 1:17 to play in the half. But I think also if you're Missouri, check me if I'm wrong, you don't want to play not to do anything dumb here.
No, I think you make an excellent point, and I think it's the right move if Dave Christensen goes there. You don't want to give up something else cheap here. Go to the locker room and regroup. But at the same time, what Tech's going to say is, see, we forced you into a shell right before the half. They'll feel great about themselves charging into the half if Missouri sits on it.
We told you that Gary Pinkel says our offense can score on anyone. They're not afraid. They don't get away from their playbook too much. Marcus Woods is checked in the backfield, and he has the football. Right up the middle over the 25 to the 27, make it the 28-yard line.
It's the right call. If I'm Missouri, it's exactly what I'm doing. Don't give up anything cheap here. Use your run game. Get out of here with no more damage. Inside handoff. Look at the splits again. And look at that seam. That's number 79, Tyler Llewellyn, coming over on the trap and cutting down low to create even more space for his running back.
Temple. Being chased from behind. Hit as he gets up to the 28-yard line. 29 will be short of the first down. Chris Parker has an interception tonight. That's his first tackle. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 1.
Best play that Temple made going down in bounds. Keeping the clock moving. So Missouri hopefully can get out of here and try and regroup.
Well, they're not going to run another play.
Watch how they go in, Ron. Watch how these teams charge to the locker room. I think Tech's going to be in a full sprint, Missouri in a drop.
You're right. And the Tech fans come out to meet their troops. Here's Craig Sager with Gary Pinkel.
Well, a dominating 24-point lead now down to 10. Do you have to regroup at halftime, or what do you tell your team?
Well, they got a drive going, they got a touchdown, then we got a turnover, and we had a couple poor judgment penalty-wise, and gave them 30 yards, and we just got to regroup, and they're a good football team. It's long from over.
You guys 5-0, never trailed in a game. Is this the most adversity you faced this year?
Oh, we've faced some. You're going to have some adversity. That's the name of the game.
Okay, thank you very much. It's now a 10-point lead, 24-14. We'll go to Mark Fine in our studio in Atlanta after the...
Welcome back to TBS Saturday Night College Football presented by Orbitz. We get set to start the second half. Texas Tech is making a game of it. They trail now 24-14 along with Charles Davis. I'm Ron Thulin. We saw obviously Missouri go out to a 24-0 lead. Tech has come back. How important is that first possession of the second half, which Tech will have?
I think it's huge, but I think it's bigger for Missouri than it is for Texas Tech. And I know that sounds odd, but Missouri has really struggled in the second quarter. Their defense needs to regroup. So we take a look at the stats from the first half. Turnovers the key in this ball game. Texas Tech has given up 3. Missouri 2 interception returns for touchdowns. Missouri 1 interception. The first quarter dominated by the Missouri Tigers. Chase Daniels' legs as well as his arm, leading them to a big advantage in yardage. But in the second quarter, Chris Todd came out, gave a spark to Texas Tech before Graham Harrell came back off the bench and threw this touchdown pass to L.A. Reid.
Here's Craig Sager on the sideline. Segs.
Well, I'm with Texas Tech's Hall of Fame basketball coach Bob Knight. And Coach, I know you're a big football fan, a friend of Mike Leach, but if you're the football coach instead of the basketball coach, what would you tell your team right now?
Well, I think he's done a really good job getting us back in the ball game. He made a great move with the quarterbacks when he took Graham Harrell out of the game, had enough confidence in him to put him back in. I told Gerald Myers, as I told you, when we're sitting there down 24-0, I said, if we score 10 in the remainder of the first half, we're going to win this ball game. So we'll see what I know about football here in the second half.
Gerald Myers, of course, the athletic director and a former basketball coach. What about your basketball team? What do you expect out of them this year? You've been to 3 NCAA tournaments, 1 NIT in 5 years.
You saw them work out yesterday. You media guys are always smarter than coaches are, so you'll have to make a determination. But I like what we have, and I think we might be able to do some things with it.
A lot of good JUCO transfers, too.
We've got some good kids from junior college and some good kids from high school, so it's a good blend for us.
Well, thanks a lot. Coach Knight says Texas Tech will come back to win this one.
All right, Jared Hicks gets the first reception of the second half as they started from their own 20-yard line. Marcus Bacon on the stop. It's good to see Hicks, if you're a Texas Tech fan, to get kind of back into the swing of things here. They need this guy. 29 career touchdowns.
He also allows Graham Harrell to throw to all portions of the field. He was so solid in the beginning of the season, throwing to Robert Johnson, Joel Fulani almost exclusively. Jared Hicks now balances the field when he throws it.
After only 13 plays in that opening quarter, 23 for Texas Tech in the second. On the ground, Woods, nothing doing on 1st and 10. Stopped right at the 30-yard line. Lorenzo Williams, his second stop of the night. Williams, the junior out of Midwest City, 2-year starter. He is studying medicine, which you have to kind of think about what kind of doctor. If he tells me to do something, I'm probably going to do it. You know?
You will do your rehab. Yes, I will, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, doctor.
Second down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Woods and Batch in the backfield. Couple of fakes. Harrell's got time, looks, dumps it off to the short man. Not going to be much of a gain. That's to Shannon Woods. David Overstreet, his third stop of the night.
Huge third down, I believe, for the Missouri defense. They have the advantage. Third and about 8.5, 9 yards. Able to get your nickel package, maybe even a dime package. Can they get pressure on Harrell and cover in the secondary and force a punt and feel good about themselves for the first time in a little while?
Well, Gary Pinkel talking to Craig Sager going into the break. He was very calm, just said, you just need to regroup. Third down and 9. Harrell's got time, looking, throwing. Clock short of the first down up to the 36-yard line. Eric Morris on the reception. That is his first catch of the night. The sophomore out of Shallow Water, Texas.
Nice job by the Missouri defense getting to their drops, seeing the ball thrown, and getting right to them.
Well, they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're 1 of 2 tonight. They face a 4th and 3.
This could really tilt momentum in Missouri's favor if they're successful here on defense.
Trying to get Missouri maybe to jump off sides. Harrell go back in the shotgun. He's comfortable back there. 2 to snap it. The quick read, the quick pass, the quick first down to Joel Fulani. Well, you called it, Charles, early on. That's kind of one of their bread and butter plays.
And they came back to it again on a 4th down. A lot of motion, you know, not a lot of time used before they snap the ball. And then they go right back to the guy, Joel Fulani, who scored their second touchdown. He knew exactly where the first down marker was, got in position, and Graham Harrell delivered.
Fulani with 5 receptions tonight. Fresh set of downs for Texas Tech. Missouri rushes 4 to Woods. Makes a quick move, gets over the 50-yard line. That's where they'll mark it. He does not have a bad series, does he?
No, he really doesn't. Meaning Shannon Woods, he's a very consistent back. They're hoping he can give them the same type of production they got from Torian Henderson for 4 years at what they call the F-back position. He's off to a nice start.
And our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Napa. And the Red Raiders need just one to get that first down.
He catches the ball well, he runs well, and he also blocks well. Had a key block to help them win the Texas A&M game.
Well, his first start, he rushed for 104 yards. Kind of gave everybody an indication what he can do. 2nd and 1. Harold's going for it all. Up top has a man looking for L.A. Reid. Penalty flag is thrown at the 22-yard line. Hardy Ricks was on the coverage. Ball kind of floated because he had a couple of steps on him, Charles.
Well, I'm not surprised that this is where they would target.
Defense number 28. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And when I say I'm not surprised, Hardy Ricks is a redshirt freshman who has started here in the beginning of this year. Dominique Johnson was in the doghouse a little bit. Now he's hurt. But this is the first real pressure he would face from receivers. And frankly, you know, Texas Tech didn't get off to the greatest start, but I thought this is where they would go early in the ball game to go after the youngster on the corner.
Ball pushed down to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Texas Tech, opening drive of the second half. Looks quickly, throws quickly, complete. Robert Johnson using that athletic body to get down to the 28-yard line. Marcus Bacon was holding on to him. I'll tell you, great story. Robert Johnson, the former quarterback, originally signed with West Virginia, then went to a junior college. They told him he was going to be a quarterback when he came here, decided to move him wide receiver. He didn't like it, Charles.
Wasn't very happy, left the program for a little while, came back, but Mike Leach said, listen, I moved you to receiver, you'll catch 70 balls your first year. He caught 67. I think the head coach knows what he's talking about.
And it's 2nd down and 3. 7 yards on first down. That allows Harold to go deep. Penalty flag is being thrown right at the line of scrimmage. Pass ball is incomplete, intended for Johnson. Terrell was on the coverage.
Holding on the offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Only the 3rd penalty against Tech.
Big Gabe Hall right here, number 78. Yep, see right there is where the hold's going to occur. Yeah, got a little extra on Xavier Jackson, number 48.
Wear tearaway jerseys when you need them.
he would have needed tearaway shoulder pads. He had it totally hooked.
The former tight end from right here in Lubbock, Coronado High School.
Got a nice little group that follows him around.
2nd down and 13 now from the 38-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left. Missouri rushes 3. They drop one lineman back. Open in the middle. Caught. Joel Filani again. Inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. 6 receptions for Filani. 7 receptions for over 50 yards.
Bunch formation. Everyone's scattering. Morris goes deep. Number 12, Filani cuts it behind him as kind of a trail guy. With the 3 here, watch Filani, because you're going to see Morris deep, then Filani comes right in there, and that's where the pattern ends up. And a nice throw by Graham Harrell, getting plenty of time to throw the football right now.
Which is what Missouri was doing in the first half, blitzing them a lot, and that caused the turnovers. Now here they come with the blitz. Harrell reads it, throws it behind his intended receiver. And that was L.A. Reid. But at least this time, Charles, he read it and got rid of it.
Yeah, got rid of it and threw it where only his receiver would have a chance, if at all. No play at all for the defensive back. Look at the distribution list for the receivers. Filani 7 catches thus far. L.A. Reid has the 1 touchdown, his 2. Amendola, a bigger part of the offense tonight. And Robert Johnson, a constant, but not much yardage for Robert Johnson so far.
Number 86 was the 12th man leading the formation. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, that's an illegal substitution that Mike Leach, I'm not sure, likes. It looks like L.A. Reid was running out. Boy, Sonny Dykes does not like it. Spike Dykes' son. He's one of the co-offensive coordinators here and also the wide receivers coach. He does not like it.
I don't think he'll be the liaison with the officials.
No, I don't think so. And if his dad stopped fishing down on the coast and is watching this, he's probably not too pleased with it either.
Or is it, as my boy, he's into the game.
That's right. 2nd and 15 from the 23. Here comes the blitz again. Harrell throws it up for grab. Caught! Touchdown! Danny Amendola! Penalty flag is thrown, but will that stand?
Offside on the defense. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Danny Amendola's 2nd touchdown reception of the year. What a catch by this young man.
You know what led to the catch, though? It was the adjustment made by Danny Amendola. This is what receivers have that the defensive backs are hard-pressed to also have. Able to see the ball and adjust while it's in the air. Marcus Bacon too late getting to Graham Harrell.
And Texas Tech, that was down 24-0. They've now put 20 unanswered points on the board, about to make it 21. And they do. Texas Tech 263 yards, 110 more than Missouri, but they're only down by 3. Well, he's another one of those coaches' kids, Danny Amendola. They call him a possession guy, but what he did on that last play was adjust, and he got the touchdown, his 2nd of the year, and that pulled Texas Tech within a field goal, 24-21, and we've got the whole nut ahead of us.
Very, very difficult for defensive backs to adjust to the football, as well as the wide receivers going after it. You see it time and again, a defensive back in great position, unable to adjust on ball thrown, maybe behind or short, and the wide receiver comes down with it.
Goldsmith from the goal line. Right up the middle like Texas A&M did for a touchdown last week, but this time he's tripped up by Chris Parker at about the 24-yard line. Here's Craig Sager.
Well, Mike Leach very positive with his team at halftime. Told him basically keep with your reads, stay with your reads. We got the momentum, we'll be all right. And then the locker room became very boisterous. Lyle Sentensich's defense very, very loud, saying, hey, we're better than they are. We can stop them. The 21 of the 24 points, remember, came over on turnovers. The defense feels they can stop them. They told the offense, hey, we'll stop them. You guys go out. We're going to win this game because we're better.
Now, there you see his record at halftime. By the way, it was offsides on the kickoff, so they tacked on 5 more yards, so they're up to the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 for Missouri.
Have a question for Sags after this play.
Check that 27-yard line. Keep it on the ground with Tony Temple. Gets up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Outstanding rush. Pick up a 6 on the play. Jake Ratliff on the stop.
Hey, Sags, you talked about how boisterous that locker room became as he got them animated. Is he still playing off that pirate motif? They tell them to swing their swords and go out in the second half?
They were, and obviously the defense is the one that feels that they have done a great job in the first half. Even though the 24 points were on the board, they felt that they did not give them up. And they feel that they have the momentum and they have a chance to actually turn the tide here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the defense only gave up 10 points. Daniel looking across the field, has his man tripped up at the 40-yard line. Martin Rucker, his 2nd reception of the night.
Love the call.
Pick up a 13. Outstanding call. You got to use it. You got to get the ball to these 2 tight ends.
But you know why I liked it? Because now they're using Texas Tech's emotion and momentum against them. All right, they showed flow to the right side. Brought the tight end dragging underneath back across to the left because they're so fired up. They tumble to that play aggressively in the opposite direction.
Daniel steps up, hit, and dropped. Back at the 37-yard line, Chris Hudler with the sack. That's the 2nd sack of the night for this Texas Tech defense. And we have a penalty flag in the secondary. Way back at the 34-yard line. If this is against Texas Tech, that is just going to be brutal.
I mean, they had it covered so well.
Yeah, it's against Tech.
Dead ball. Personal foul, late hit, unnecessary roughness against the defense. Number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Garcelle McBath.
And that wipes out a terrific defensive play, too.
That's a brain cramp.
They heated up Chase Daniel and got to him, and the coverage was great in the secondary. Watch back here. Watch these guys. This is what I would call a coverage sack. Nowhere for Chase Daniel to go with the football. No one open, then they get to him.
There it is right there at the 43-yard line. Right there.
That was the shot.
Yeah.
Unnecessary hit. Defenseless receiver, play was dead.
You got to contain your emotions sometime. Daniel now going to try to take advantage of it, and he does down to the 45-yard line. Chase Kaufman, the tight end.
I mean, that's not a play that he'll be able to defend with his defensive coordinator, Lyle Sedcich, and film. You know, coaches always tell you, sure, you want to get a big hit, but a tough guy gets a big hit on a play that's actually happening. You know?
That's right.
That's not a hit we need.
That's second down and 7. Temple cuts up into the gap, gets up to about the 43-yard line. Joe Garcia, 7 tackles already on the evening. That'll bring up a third down. About 3.5.
Joe Garcia will strike you, number 49 for Texas Tech. The thing they worry about with him is playing in space. If there's an opportunity for Missouri to isolate one of those great tight ends on Joe Garcia, that would be a great spot for them to go with the football.
Third down, they need 3. They're 5 of 9 on third down tonight.
See Garcia here on the second receiver, Eckler.
Texas Tech shows blitz. They go with a blitz. They give up the first down. Caught by Will Franklin. Scampers down the sideline and knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Franklin's third reception. That covers 20.
He's their big play guy. Lyle Sedcich trying to heat up Chase Daniel. Terrific job picking up the blitz by the Missouri offensive line, and great control on the sideline by Will Franklin. Nice out route, gets away from Antonio Huffman. Then Huffman overruns it as he staggers trying to make the play.
And first and 10 from the 21. They keep it on the ground. Temple, nice job breaking tackles, gets down to the 10-yard line. McBath on the stop. Pick up of 11 on the play. That'll be another first down. Now let's see if they mark it. Now they said his knee hit at the 11-yard line.
What an important drive for Missouri. Tony Temple averaging over 4 yards per carry. Now the offense is trying to pick up the defense for the Tigers.
Yep. It is a first down. It's on the 11. 7 minutes to play in the third. Temple trips as he gets inside the 10-yard line. One official looks like he's going to spot it at the 10.
That play had more yards available to him. When he tripped and went down, there were more yards available on that run. And I'm not sure anyone got him except maybe the turf.
Second down and 9. They can get a first down, but they got to get down to the 1. Tech showing blitz. Here they come, but Missouri tries to beat it with a run. They get down to the 6-yard line. Again, it is Tony Temple getting most of the work tonight running. Jake Ratliff with his second stop of the evening.
Well, you want to be a defender in the Big 12? Here's what it looks like. As the offensive line and Tony Temple comes at you, runs through Chris Hudler before the hit. Was that 98, Jake Ratliff?
Jake Ratliff again. And it's third down and 5. Daniel looking over the sideline, 10 to snap it.
Kaufman in the slot.
Looking right, looking for somebody in the middle. Pass, caught, touchdown, Chase Kaufman. Yeah, he's the touchdown guy for him. Had a couple last week versus Colorado. That's his first this evening, 4th of the year.
Their tight end, so talented. Were rather quiet in the first half for them. I think they're going to make every effort in the second half to have Kaufman and Rucker touch the ball a bit more.
And the extra point snakes its way inside the left upright, looking at it again. As Missouri goes back on top by 10, 31-21. CBS brought to you by Vegas.com. For the best deals on Vegas room shows and more, book now at Vegas.com. And by Singular, raising the bar. A shootout in West Texas. Texas Tech comes out, 10-play drive. They pull within 3. Missouri comes back with their own 10-play drive to go back up by 10.
That was as big a drive as Missouri has had all year long.
Oh, I agree.
The offense needed to pick up the defense, and that they did. Gave them a chance to get off the field a little bit, rest a little bit more, regroup, and it paid off with 7 points.
We got just about a couple of heavyweight fighters just taking punches, you know.
Big shot back at it, back at you.
And this kick's got a little carry to it. Right from the goal line, it's Eric Morris, straight up the middle. Gets up over the 20 to the 23. Penalty flag is thrown at the 18-yard line. Sean Weatherspoon on the stop. Back up middle linebacker.
Holding against the return team, number 8. Penalty is half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Joe Filani is the instigator on that. 5:27 to play in the third quarter. In case you just joined us, Missouri jumped out to a 24-0 lead. It was 24-10 at halftime.
Here's the touchdown. All right, you want to take a look here at the strong safety and here at Kaufman, Chase Kaufman, because Chase Kaufman is going to go into the area vacated because the strong safety bit early on the route. That made it an easy pitch and catch.
Well, Woods and Batch. Now Batch moves to the outside. Harrell sees some pressure, throws, pass tipped, intended for Joel Filani. I think Diedrich Harrington got a piece of it.
Showing off his ex-defensive back skills. All right, number 33, Harrington, right in the middle. See how they drop and they get themselves set, and they're just reading the eyes of the quarterback and flowing to the football.
You know, Charles, you made a great point. We were just talking that it looks like at times Graham Harrell does telegraph his passes.
Sometimes it appears that he locks on just a little bit too long with the receiver, and the DBs can blow to the ball.
4-man rush, they dump it off to Woods. He'll be about a yard short of the first down. Harrington, 8 stops on the evening. The senior middle linebacker doing a great job. Says he has less thinking this year and just more playing.
Yeah, being able to be in the same spot 2 years in a row has been good for him. Came as a free and a strong safety, became a rover back, then moved into the middle as a middle linebacker. It's not a progression you often get in football.
3rd down and 1, not necessarily a running down for Texas Tech, but this time they will. They got the first down up the middle. Woods crosses the 25 up to the 27-yard line. You know, we talked about tempo at the beginning of the game and how Missouri's not afraid to change the tempo. Fast and mild. Texas Tech wants to keep the tempo pretty much the same, don't they?
Want to be consistent, running it at about the same pace. They don't have to hurry up. We're not in that stage of the ball game yet. And this is how Graham Harrell operates best.
Missouri, one of 13 undefeated teams coming into tonight. Already dropped a couple already. Harrell, look out backside. Pass complete. Robert Johnson got another first down as he gets up to about the 39-yard line.
Nice little change up after showing the wide receiver, you know, quick screen out to the wide side. This time they show it from a tight formation, and Robert Johnson just crosses underneath because the fake was out wide like it was going to be a quick screen to the wide receiver. But instead, Johnson crosses underneath, and Harrell finds it.
7 receptions now for Robert Johnson on the evening, 72 yards, 1st and 10. We'll call it about the 39-yard line. Fakes the handoff. Harrell rolling. Filani gets up to the 45 to the 47-yard line, and they continue to get those little yak yards, those yards after catch. Those add up after a while.
That's a good point because it's not always a big play from yak yardage. You know, you break a tackle, and the next thing you gallon 50 yards. We've seen Filani get the tough 3, 4, 5 yards after the catch all evening long, and he just did it again.
7 different receivers have caught passes tonight for Sonny Dykes' offensive side. 3 minutes to play in the quarter.
And the splits continue to vary depending on the play call in the offensive line.
Comes the blitz. Harrell reads it, throws it up. This has a chance of being intercepted, and it isn't. Incomplete. At the 18-yard line, Hardy Ricks had a shot at it. He read the blitz, but I don't think the receiver read it.
Now Cornell Ford, the defensive backs coach, is going to tell him in film, I like your position, I like your read, but until you start hauling that in and making it a turnover, it's not a full plus on your grade sheet.
Yeah, but haven't you said as a former cornerback, quarterbacks are just wide
receivers who can't catch.
That's right. And you're picking on yourself.
Yeah, don't mean to do that,
no.
But that was a play that they needed to have.
3rd down and 2. Woods reaches forward. Let's see where they spot it. Bacon with the stop. They're going to spot it at about the 48-yard line. It'll be short of the 1st down. Fans, now it's time for our Aflac trivia question. The question is, what school has had a winning overall record in each of the 10 years of the Big 12?
I know.
And it might surprise most people.
I think it will.
4th down and a yard.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. They're 2 for 3 on 4th down tonight. Woods got the 1st down, breaks over the middle, gets down to the 42-yard line. I'll tell you what, he's got a little spunk, that young man.
He does, and because they're such a heavy pass team, coupled with the wide splits in the running lanes, you don't have to be a big masher as an offensive lineman. You just have to get in front of people and let the defenders go where they want to go and let your running backs find the seams. And Shannon Woods does a good job of doing that.
And we're inside of 2 minutes. Tech trying to pull again within a field goal. Aaron Batch now in. Movement in the backfield. Batch kind of did a double take there.
Never seemed really set.
No.
Offensive line looking around.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Louis Vasquez, the left guard. Didn't play last week against Texas A&M. Was injured.
You know, I don't want to pick on this young man. Redshirt freshman doing a good job. But Hardy Ricks.
Yeah.
What they will tell him on Sunday is that very simply, if you caught that ball, that drive's over.
That's right.
Now let's see if Texas Tech is able to pay off on getting new life after the missed interception.
And Missouri's showing blitz again, and Harrell does a great job just getting rid of the football. He backpedaled all the way to the 30-yard line. And Sonny Dykes on the sideline doesn't like it. He's complaining to the linesman. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, they're not going to be voted cutest couple at the end of this evening. He's been in his ear for a while.
I think they're looking for offsides. It looks like Missouri was offside.
Brian Smith, I think, was so fast into the backfield. Was he so fast because he was offsides?
Well, he was leaning.
He was leaning. He was the guy there.
Yeah.
I will say this, Brian Smith is so fast, he actually got a sack this year on a 3-step drop play. That's very unusual.
That's right. Shannon Woods back in there now. Harrell looking for the 5-man rush. He tries to get away from it. He is going to be slammed down at about the 43-yard line. First hit was by striker Sulak. He just set him up for the rest of the guys in the white jerseys.
See, versus these wide splits, they're often telling you to rush outside because with a quarterback that can run, what are you worried about? You're worried about containing that quarterback in the pocket. With Graham Harrell, Gary Pinkel's troops are not worried about that. So they're telling their defensive ends, however you beat the offensive tackle is fine. It's called a two-way go. Inside or outside, we don't care because we don't think Graham Harrell can get out of the pocket and hurt us with his legs.
Officially on the sack, it's DeMarcus Scott and Ron Baston.
Smith forced early, though, didn't he?
Yes. Look out. Lost the ball. Harrell picks it back up again. Still loose. Missouri's got it at the 45-yard line. William Moore has an interception tonight. Now he's got a fumble recovery.
And Brian Smith's speed on the end forced that fumble. That gives him another sack. That should be his 8th of the year. If I'm counting, he'll come from the backside, number 39. The guy they thought was offsides previously, stripped. Harrell picks it up. A second strip by Lorenzo Williams, number 99. See right there? Ball comes free, puts his helmet on the ball, and William Moore cleans it up, and Missouri's in business.
Missouri's all-time leading sack man comes up with a big one, and with 29 seconds left, Missouri's got it, leading by 10. Charles, you like when a team attacks after a turnover, but that's not Missouri's personality.
Hasn't been thus far. They like to continue to run their offense, and they ran the ball real well on the last possession. They're going 5 wides on this one. Chase Daniel getting the check off from the sideline, but I'm not sure they're going to take a big shot downfield.
This is the last play of the quarter, probably. 15 to play in the third. Daniel, no pressure from a 4-man rush. He's going down the middle deep. Has a man caught. Will Franklin inside the 10. They'll mark it at about the 8.
You've got to know when to break the rules, don't you?
He did.
And Dave Christensen did that because his personality has been, hey, we'll just run our offense. This time he gets the mismatch. Will Franklin on Brock Stratton. And a well-thrown ball by Chase Daniel right down the middle. And Missouri ends the quarter on a real upbeat note.
Well, they gave up 21 unanswered points, but they've come back with a 10-point lead as we head to the 4th and final stanza. Welcome back to TBS Saturday Night College Football presented by Orbitz. We're set to start the 4th and final stanza with Missouri leading Texas Tech 31-21, and they got guns up here in Lubbock. Missouri 3 for 3 in the red zone, 17 points tonight. Touchdown, Missouri, Tony Temple. Make it 4 for 4. His second rushing touchdown of the year. And the lead goes back to 16, possibly 17.
What I liked about that run was the patience
Yes.
he exhibited and the dip inside and caught his blocks that carried him into the end zone.
And the extra point with 5 seconds gone by here in the quarter is good. Another look. Tony Temple getting the handoff, just following the block, showing some patience, and Missouri leads 38-21. Tech riding an 11-game home win streak, but right now Missouri's taking advantage 38-21. It's a full moon in the plains of Texas. Along with Charles Davis and Craig Sager, I'm Ron Thulin. Tony Temple showing some patience today. He's been the man running the football. 14 rushes, 59 yards, a couple of touchdowns.
His first 2 of the year,
right.
as you cited earlier. He was starting to wonder, hey, how come I'm carrying the mail down there and everyone else is scoring?
This kick is going to be short. Eric Morris gets 1 block. Cannot get to the outside. Good
great
speed
coverage
by that Missouri defense.
Great coverage.
Outstanding.
Jason Ray, number 4, wide receiver.
Wide receiver tackling. He's going to give himself put on defense. Here's that touchdown again.
Jose, now check this out, okay? These right out here is where you want. These guys right here, watch the coordinated effort on the run. Zone block, and then you also get the receivers. Martin Rucker in front of someone, Brad Ekwu. That's a coordinated effort that led to the touchdown.
Well, let's see if Texas Tech can respond to this. Graham Harrell looks, throws it out of the flat, pass complete to Johnson. They mark him out at the 21-yard line.
Clock gets moving, though, for him.
Let's take a look at the New York Life stat of the night. How about that? 28 points off Texas Tech's turnovers tonight for the Missouri Tigers. New York Life has been protecting families for over 160 years now. That's a winning stat.
Coming into the game, Missouri had scored 24 points off of turnovers all year long. 28 tonight.
Well, Missouri's only run 49 plays tonight. They're minus 80 yards total. Up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Texas Tech just keeping it on the ground with Shannon Woods. Their pass sets up their run at times.
That is true. You know, a lot of teams run to pass.
That's right. It's the other way with them.
It is, and it changes what the defense's mentality is. Most games you go into a contest saying, stop the run. That's your mantra. Against Texas Tech, it's disrupt the rhythm of the quarterback. The run game is secondary.
If you're down 3 scores, you better get going. But we saw they could score in less than a minute. Missouri was offsides on that play. It's a free run by Shannon Woods. Gets up to the 50-yard line in Missouri territory. Down to the 47 before Brandon Massey comes up with a stop. Once again, we saw a little too quick there on the defensive line by Missouri. Maybe Sonny Dykes' complaints, so they hurt him.
Defense, number 48. Penalty is declined. First down.
Xavier Jackson, number 48, playing stand-up defensive end, who's in there too quickly. He gets a hit on Graham Harrell. What I'm thinking, Ron, is that Missouri's defense feels that they've timed Graham Harrell's snap count. He's going to have to go to hard count, vary it up a little bit, because they seem to be getting real good jumps off of his count right now. Sometimes too good.
Yeah, we saw it on their last possession. Harrell, a quick looking pass caught by Jared Hicks. He takes a couple of pops, makes it down to the 42. Hardy Ricks, at times Hardy Ricks has looked outstanding.
He has. He's growing up in front of our eyes, making plays. You know, I was slightly critical of him for not catching the interception, but he comes back with a nice hard pop. Good coverage on Jared Hicks with some help from Dedrick Harrington.
He's got 3 tackles tonight, Ricks does. It sets up a 2nd and 5 for Texas Tech. Still a lot of time left. Missouri rushes 5. Harrell throws it out, pass complete to the 24-yard line to Joel Filani, and again, it takes a couple of Missouri Tigers to bring him down. Darnell Terrell with his 11th tackle, but he needed a little bit of help.
I'm not sure I've seen Joel Filani go down on initial contact all evening.
I don't think he has.
I mean, he positions himself with his 215-pound body, 6'3" frame in front of Darnell Terrell, who's 6'3", 205 pounds himself. And then he has to hold on for dear life after the initial contact.
It's time to throw to the outside. Danny Amendola tiptoes down the sideline, gets down to the 8-yard line. And now Texas Tech is answering, and they're doing it quickly.
There's just no relaxing against this offense. Just when you think you've got it under control, maybe you've hurt their spirit a little bit, these young men from Texas Tech continue to play hard.
And they're knocking on the door. They can get a first down to the 3-yard line. It's 1st and 10 at the 13. Missouri blitzes. Harrell's got time. Throws it up. Got a man. Touchdown, Texas Tech. No, incomplete. Johnson had it and dropped it. That was a pretty good toss, though, by Graham Harrell.
It was, and they had a nice package set up to pick up the blitz from Missouri. Gave him time to throw the ball. Filani short. Johnson deep, unable to continue to haul it in.
Oh, that just went
right through his hands. He's not going to ask for much better throw than that.
2nd down and 10 from the 13. Missouri showing blitz, and here they come again. Harrell reads it. The quick look in. Caught. Filani again. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Terrell again on the stop. He's got a dozen tonight.
That was the best job he's done of putting the big hit on Filani and putting him down on the spot.
Filani is a pretty good-sized guy, 6'3", 216 pounds, a senior out of Paradise Valley High School in Phoenix. 9th play of the drive. 3rd down. The blitz again. Harrell throws this up over the shoulder. No. Incomplete, intended for L.A. Reid. Check that, it's Jared Hicks, and that'll set up a 4th down.
They've run a lot of fade routes, I should say, in this situation. You know what the counter is here, don't you?
Yeah.
Show the fade and come back with the slant.
It's 4th down and 3. They're 3 of 4 on 4th down tonight. Missouri, everybody up on the line.
See if Missouri checks out of it. I doubt it. I think they're going to back off and come right back at him.
And they back off. Harrell goes in the shotgun, 4 to snap.
Here they come.
Here they come. Looks. Quick look in. Pass tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. Missouri takes over. Great defensive play by striker Shulak. Shulak comes up with it, and that stops this Texas Tech drive. That is a dagger in your heart.
That's a tough one to come that far and come up empty. But as suspected, they've thrown the fade a number of times. This time he comes back, as you said, the look in, the slant. But Shulak makes the play that bats it away.
11:28. That would have changed the whole course of this football game if they could have scored. And now the Missouri Tiger offense takes over. 11:25 to play.
And Tech's defense has field position in their favor. Can they keep Missouri pinned in here and at the least force a punt to give them the ball in great field position?
Temple again showing patience, uses that little stutter step as he gets over the 10 to the 12-yard line. Pick up about 6 on the play. Al, a little while ago, we gave you our Aflac trivia question. What school has had a winning overall record in each of the 10 years of the Big 12? And the answer is right here.
I think it's guns up, isn't it?
Lubbock. Texas Tech.
Surprise, surprise. Because you think of Texas, you think of Oklahoma, but they all had a couple of down years along the way when the Big 12 was first formed.
2nd down and 4 for Missouri. The keeper, the first down to the 20. Chase Daniel. I'll tell you what, this Chase Daniel, they call him, as you mentioned, TM, the man, and there's good reason. It's a pretty good birthday present for him tonight.
Yeah, not bad to be in have your 20th birthday, come back to your home state, and be in the lead in the 4th quarter with your ball club, having had a pretty decent night, both throwing it and running it. You know, if I'm a sports writer, I'm describing Chase Daniel as the heavy-legged quarterback for Missouri. Runs with a lot of force in his compact body.
He's a take charge kind of guy. Now the time is on their side. 3 to snap it, no problem. Temple looking again. Again, that little stutter step as he goes to the left side. And again, he picks up 4. Jake Ratliff on the stop. But when you look at Chase Daniel, here's a guy that is a take charge guy. He called guys out to get him to work out when he knew he was going to be the starting quarterback, started getting everybody, and everybody accepts him as the leader now.
And watch what happens when he gets to the goal. You talked about Tony Temple and his patience. See where the seam is formed? Right there and there. Because of the blocking, and he knows it's going to be there. It's almost like Vince Lombardi coming back and saying, we want to seal here, we want to seal here, and we're going to run the play right in the alley here. And it's working quite well for them right now.
Jimmy Jackson now in the backfield. Texas Tech showing blitz. Here they come. Pass is complete to Will Franklin up over the 30-yard line to the 31. His 5th catch of the night, and it's another first down for Missouri. And this Texas Tech defense not able to stop the Tigers when they needed it.
And I go back to what you talked about with Chase Daniel and how he took charge of the team. He called the guys out. Let's get ready for next year. It all started with his performance against Iowa State a year ago, subbing for an injured Brad Smith.
Now Texas Tech burns the timeout. 9:23 to play, and they trail it by 17. Brought to you by Dish Network. Get 100% all digital TV starting at only $19.99 a month. Dish Network, better TV for all. By Red Lobster, indulge in all the irresistible shrimp you want. It's endless shrimp only at Red Lobster. By Michelin, a better way forward. And by Aflac, ask about it at work. Charles Davis, Craig Sager, Ron Thunlin in Lubbock, Texas, where the Missouri Tigers are making a statement tonight. 38-21, they lead Texas Tech with 9:23 to play in the ball game. Chase Daniels done a nice job. Temple gets up over the 35 to the 36-yard line. And we talk about at the top of the show about both teams wanting to get a little respect nationally. This is big, though, for the Big 12 North. Early on, they kind of dominated. Then the South has taken over with Oklahoma and with Texas. Now the North trying to get a little more respect from everybody.
They are, and this would be a big win for the North. As we take a look at the standings right now, Missouri, the head, could possibly go to 6-0, 2-0 in conference. Nebraska, Kansas State, with a win. They won today, didn't they? They beat Oklahoma State. That's another North versus South game, where previously the North was dominated except for Baylor.
They won that game in the last second. Temple tries to find to the outside, gets his legs taken out from underneath him. Chris Parker coming up to make his 4th stop of the night. Our 1st and 10 line tonight is brought to you by Napa. And the Missouri Tigers need to go to the 42-yard line. Gary Pinkel's done a great job with this ball club, built a solid foundation. Said he wanted to be like Don James, his mentor in college and also at the University of Washington, one of the great coaches in college football. That's the way he built this program.
And boy, did he talk glowingly about Coach James in our meeting with him. Really touched me just hearing him speak about the man in that manner.
36, Daniel tucks it, keeps it short of the 1st down. They'll mark it right at the 40. Looks like Chris Hudler went underneath for his 4th stop of the night. That'll bring up a 4th down and about 1. And Missouri will kick it away with 7:43 to play.
But they'll count that drive as very successful. You know why? They changed field position. They bled. I mean, as the clock ticks down to 7:30, we're talking 4 or 5 minutes that they took off the clock at least.
Yeah, and they started at the 6-yard line, too. So at least they got some field position.
Yeah, so now barring a block punt, they have a chance to change field position to aid their defense.
Well, Texas Tech needs 3 scores in 7 minutes. They can do it. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah. About to say, I know we're not saying they can't do it.
They're going to let the clock run down. It's 5 to snap. They're probably just going to go ahead and take the penalty. They are kicking into the wind, however. And that's going to be a timeout with 6:57 to play. 4th down is what Missouri's facing, and we'll take a timeout also. We'll be back to Lubbock, Texas right after this. Texas back in 1998, they were a ranked team, and they came out of Lubbock with a 28-26 win. So they're trying to do that again, come in as a ranked team, and walk out with a victory. Right now they're facing 4th down and 2 from the 40, and they're going to kick it away. Tech brings the troops, but they get it away. Amendola is going to let it hit. Takes a pro Texas Tech bounce, and they'll stop it at about the 13-yard line. Here's Craig Sager with some of the relatives of Chase Daniel.
Well, you know, the stadium was pretty quiet except for this section over here. I'm talking to Bill Daniel, of course, Chase's father. Tell me what the emotions are as you watch him right here with a 38-21 lead.
It's very special. We're having such a great time, and this Texas Tech football team is outstanding. I'm telling you, Graham Hill is a special guy, and this thing is not over yet. We still got 6 minutes and 44 seconds left. I'm telling you, this Texas Tech ball club can come back on us any time, and we just have to have a really good defensive stand right now. I think we'll be okay.
Ron was talking about what a take charge guy your son is. Was he always like that at home?
Yeah, he's always a kind of a quiet kid, but he's a pretty special young man. We're very, very proud of him. Thank you, Craig.
We got to talk to Vicky, the mom. What'd you do for his 20th birthday?
We celebrated it last week at his place, and we just had some of the football boys over and cooked out. Took some cookie cakes to the hotel last night, and they chowed down, and that was it.
And if he goes on to win this game, he'll have won 53 of his last 54 games as a starting football player. They've had a lot of good days watching their son play.
I'd say so, Greg. 2nd down and 6. Harrell will throw it out of the flat, caught up to the 22-yard line. Danny Amendola.
Hey, Sags, one thing I can say on behalf of me and Ron and Sam up here in the booth, we mentioned Chase's birthday on air already, so can you check on a few cookie cakes for us?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, cookie cakes for everybody on the team. They were delivered to the hotel. They also sent text messages to him. They didn't want to bother them during his meetings.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm talking about us. Okay?
Yeah, really.
Do you have any more of those cookie cakes?
Team got theirs. What about us?
I don't have any left. They ate it all.
Yeah, I figured that.
We should have known.
We've heard that before. Eric Morris, by the way, with a 1st down catch, but the clock is running against Texas Tech and the homecoming crowd beginning to leave Jones AT&T Stadium. Very disappointed at their team. A little shovel pass. Got some running room up over the 35 to the 38-yard line. Shannon Woods. This is going to be, if this holds up, and the time is really against Tech, this is going to be a very disappointing loss for this Texas Tech squad.
Yes, and the flip side, a super win.
Absolutely.
For Missouri.
Everybody doubted them. I mean, you just look at the polls. They're 25, and nobody believed that this team was as good as their statistics said.
We had to ask the question, How good were they based on who?
Oh my, Shannon Woods just felt the wrath of William Moore. A touchdown, a fumble recovery, 6 tackles. William Moore's been a pro tonight.
William Moore read this play and hit Shannon Woods as if his name had been changed to William Wallace from Braveheart. What a terrific play by William Moore.
I think Gary Pinkel said to William Moore, listen, I used to play with Jack Lambert of the Steelers. That's what he used to do.
William Moore thought he was going to start this season at the free safety position.
Well, that'll get the crowd a little upset. They needed the first down, though. Well, a second.
And I know the crowd's upset because they want to see him throw here. But there are times when you run the play inside like that, thinking you might catch them in a twist or, you know, just bypassing the running game to the quarterback. And sometimes it breaks big. And then the crowd's saying, boy, that Mike Leach is real genius, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Harrell loses the football again. Missouri dives for it. Still loose. Couple of white jerseys got it. Looks like Marcus Bacon is the one who came up with a loose ball, and the Tigers have it. And they're on their way to an undefeated start for the 2006 season. They're looking to go 6-0 for the first time since 1973.
And Marcus Bacon fits the definition of the term ball hawk. You know, this is their 6th game, and this is going to be the 5th game that he's come up with a turnover or more in that game. And you're always around the football, always creating plays. Wow.
Now 5 turnovers tonight for this Texas Tech offense. 2 of them were touchdowns on interceptions. We were always talking about earlier that, you know, Missouri's only scored 24 points off 10 turnovers. They kind of equaled that tonight.
Well, tonight they scored 28 points off of their turnovers, exceeded their season total. And now they're in what they call victory offense, which means run the ball, bleed the clock. It's not taking a knee yet. Just run the ball, bleed the clock. They did that quite well against New Mexico. 11 their last 12 plays, they ran the ball 11 times and ran out the game.
Well, let's take a look at our Hyundai drive of the game. Missouri 9 plays, 73 yards, covered just over 4 minutes. That made the score 31-21 after Texas Tech had cut it to 21-24. That seemed to really take the air out of the Red Raiders.
Just huge. I mean, it elevated the whole Missouri team. When anyone might have been having doubts, the number 2 ranked defense coming into the game struggling, the sophomore quarterback erased those doubts.
Well,
and elevated everyone.
Absolutely. Chase Daniel wasn't recruited by Texas Tech, got a late scholarship offer by the University of Texas. That was his boyhood dream to play with them, but he said, I'm going to Missouri and I'm sticking to my commitment. You got to tip your hat to that young man for that.
You do. You do, to understand that he could have reversed field and no one would have blamed him.
I'll tell you, look back at this young man's career, 36 of 37 starts, he's won. You go back to when he was a wide receiver as a sophomore, 52 of 53 overall, a winner. Just got the big W stuffed out his forehead, don't they?
Exactly. You know, he's bred to be a quarterback, but did not mind changing positions to help his ball club out. He had a senior quarterback ahead of him who was quite good too.
And they wasted a little bit too much time, 2:34 to play in the ball game.
Delay game on the offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Now the Missouri keys to the game we gave you earlier, our Orbit's Fast and Easy keys to the game. Here's the update on them.
Well, cut to the chase, 173 pass yards. We also ran the ball effectively to Chase Daniel. On the spot, Texas Tech pass yardage, 354. Joel Filani got a good number of yak yards, couldn't get him down on the spot. Show me, show you. They've showed us tonight. Missouri is legit at 6-0.
They may lose that number 2 ranking defensively, but they're going to be 6-0. That's all they're worried about. It'll be Jackson, the ball carrier. As he goes over the, out about the 30-yard line.
There's Marcus Bacon, a former safety, now a linebacker. Brian Smith, number 39, to his left. There's sack man extraordinaire. He just keeps adding to his school total. I think he has Aaron Hunt in his sights now.
Former Texas Techer.
Right, for the all-time Big 12 sack lead. I think he's, what, 2 down from him now?
That's it. Final minute and a half. Chase Daniel, 2nd and 11, no problem. Just keep the ball on the ground. But what's ahead for the Missouri Tigers, Charles? Because it's not going to get any easier. Now they go from being the hunted to they're going to be instead of the hunter, they're going to be the hunted.
Well, Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator, talked to his guys about that before the Colorado game. Give the analogy of the Ali Foreman Rumble in the Jungle fight. Saying, you know, if you're going to be the champ, or if you're going to be that great on defense, people are going to come after you. Colorado did. Well, tonight Texas Tech did, and they survived both of those. At A&M, Kansas State, Oklahoma, we're hitting the meat of their schedule.
But Gary Finkel loves it. He will remain undefeated tonight. On an interception, had a fumble recovery. Just part of a great Missouri defense that came up with the big plays they needed. You got to tip your hat to Darnell Terrell. 12 tackles tonight. Dietrich Harrington with 10 tackles. They seem to make the play, and you were talking during a break about a half hour ago. Their bend, don't break mantra really stood up tonight.
It did, because there were drives and Texas Tech puts up yards. But how many times did Tech's offense get into the end zone?
That's right. Well, they go by the saying, hit and disrupt. They've done it. Jackson, he's going to be stacked up with 1:10 to play.
Good move on his part, though, not continuing to the sideline, going down and letting the clock continue to run.
Now stick around for the Dodge postgame report. Mark Fine will catch you up on all of today's action around the country, including the upsets. Congratulations to Houston Nutt. Just think, 5 weeks ago, people were going, oh, what is it with Houston Nutt? Now he's probably going to run for governor of Arkansas and win.
Yeah, they got whacked by USC in the opener, 50-14. Everybody's saying, what's going on? He hired a high school coach to be his offensive coordinator, and now he's beaten Alabama and Auburn with a true freshman at quarterback.
Now the people at Dreamland are crying tonight in Tuscaloosa. How about the undefeated teams? We came in with 13. And we got to say goodbye. Thanks for joining us. We'll say to the TBS home version of college football, and Auburn takes a leap. Daragorn. Oregon is getting beat right now.
Yeah, they're playing Cal. That's not a real surprise because they're pretty evenly matched teams. Game at Cal. Missouri stays on the list. Their winning streak now goes to, what, 7 consecutive, dating back to last year? Which, believe it or not, coming into tonight was 4th in the nation.
That's amazing. When we saw that stat, you and I kind of looked at each other and said, no, that's not right.
And it is.
It is.
But, you know, they are a legit ball club. You know, everybody had questions. I had questions. Combined 6 and 19. The teams that they've beaten thus far. Ole Miss was a name, Colorado a name, neither one of them very good. But this team they beat today, Texas Tech, that's a good football team, and they did it on the road, and they did it convincingly in the second half.
Well, Texas Tech now is going to have to regroup themselves. Jackson bouncing off tackles, final 30 seconds, and that might just do it. But Texas Tech also will have to regroup, Charles, and their season's far from over.
They've got some work to do. I believe they go to Colorado next week.
Well, they got 2 in a row, at Colorado, at Iowa State. Neither one are going to be easy. I tell you, Dan Hawkins lost a heartbreaker today.
Again, they continue to improve. But when you look at Missouri's turnaround, I guess we could probably all date it to the Independence Bowl last year, the comeback against South Carolina and Steve Spurrier's team. I think they were down 28-7 before they came back and won that game. And that really carried over into a very productive offseason.
Well, Texas Tech will get it. Final 36 seconds. You know, we asked Gary Pinkel about that last night. Says too much made about that? No, you know, the kids really kind of came of age then. They came to practice in the spring with a better attitude than they ever had. By the way, college football on TBS will continue next Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll have another battle in the Big 12 Conference. We're not sure who yet, but we'll be there, 7 o'clock Eastern. College football on TBS presented by Orbitz. We've got about 4 different possibilities, so we don't know.
All we know is that we're showing up, and they're going to have a great time wherever we're going.
And a big congratulations to Gary Finkel, one of our favorite people to be around. His sincerity and just the integrity he has with his team and his coaches. You got to tip your hat to him.
Yeah, he talked about the loyalty his staff has shown him. What about the loyalty he's shown his staff? Many people had asked him to make some changes, and he said, no, these are good football coaches. And lo and behold, they're 6-0 in 2006.
That's right. They haven't done that in a long time at Missouri. First time since 1973, and that's going to do it. Chase Daniel, the Missouri Tigers go to 6-0 on the year. as they take care of the Red Raiders of Texas Tech on the road. A very impressive offensive performance when they needed it. Texas Tech got the lead down to 3, and Gary Pinkel's squad exploded, and he's with our Craig Sager now.
Well, Coach, people question how good Missouri is with a 5-0 record. You have Chase Daniel here. Chase Daniel, well, he seems to win everywhere he's gone. Now you can add a Big 12 road game to it, and by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. You know, we came out here, executed our game plan. We didn't want to take that the ball, and you know, it was a good game plan by our coaches.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations. We questioned how good Missouri was, 5-0, but obviously you showed today you're a pretty darn good team. Tell us how proud you are of your team.
Well, I'm so proud. We had a lot of adversity out there, as you all know, and we did the things necessary on defense. We really, the turnovers were huge in this game, obviously, and every one we got, I think we put into points. So I'm just really proud of this football team, and I think we can even get a lot better. So. It's a good day for Missouri football.
You're 6-0. It's been a good year so far. Already eligible for a bowl game, but what are your plans and goals for the end of the year?
Well, we got a big game next week, and we'll just kind of focus on that one game like we've been doing the whole time.
That game is at 8 a.m. Tell us a little bit about Chase Daniel. The fact that he comes in here, I talked to his parents a little while ago. They've seen him play. Win 53 of his last 54 games he started. What is it about him?
Well, you know, he's a winner. He was coached well in high school. He's got it, and we all know what it is in a quarterback. What's difficult is to find the guys with it, and he's got the ability to make plays, and you know, he's also got a great supporting cast, too. You know, he got good turnovers today. He had people, good receiving core, people giving protection. So, you know, we had a team that's really playing well together, and Chase is part of it.
Good coaching in high school and good coaching in Missouri, and the it, a way to find a way to win. Back to you, Ron.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. Congratulations, Missouri Tigers. They're going to stay undefeated on the year. You've been watching TBS Saturday Night College Football presented by Orbitz. Be sure to tune in to TBS next Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern. We bring you another Big 12 showdown. Teams are to be announced. For Charles Davis, Craig Sager, and our entire crew, I'm Ron Thula saying good night from Lubbock, Texas. The final score again, Missouri wins it 38-21. Now it's time for the Dodge postgame show with Mark Fine.